Hello, friends. Unfortunately, I'm seeing this second pandemic starting to play out. I used to say in the videos years ago when the first one was done that they plan a second one. The first one was to see how people will respond so they can see where there's loopholes and things that they can deal with for the next one. And unfortunately, this next one, they are going to be spraying, in my opinion, an actual virus that's going to be deadly. And I believe, again, how the way they're going to spread it, even though they'll begin it with one country because that's how they strategically do this. Then they'll say, "Oh, it's spread," and the way it's going to actually spread, I believe, is through what we call chemtrails. They are chemtrails, but the people that are spraying these things, the chemtrails, are also going to be spraying these viruses. Now, I don't think they will know that. They think they're just still doing what they were doing for geoengineering. And for those of you that don't know, please look into things more so you can become more awake. But I believe this is how they're going to spread it all over the world. It's not going to be through other sources. The countries that have forbidden chemtrails and planes flying and spraying chemtrails, they're going to try to bring it into those countries in other means. Through tampering with water systems and things like that, injecting it in there, putting it in there, and people will start getting sick from that. So I'm not saying this to scare you. It's not my motive. My motive is for you to prepare. Because if this is the next round, because they were planning a second one, then this one's going to be more for real. And some of you will say, but why would they do that knowing that they're going to hurt other people that they might know or whatever? The guys flying the planes don't know what they're doing, meaning they know they're spraying chemicals, but they don't know now they're spraying viruses as well. This is, again, allegedly, this is my opinion. Do your own research, think for yourself. Just telling you some thoughts that's been coming through my head recently. And when they're spraying these things, and even these guys, these men behind this evil agenda, they're a Satanist. I've told you before in many other videos that I've done before. Of course, they deleted my channels. YouTube deleted my channel. Now it's come back up again, but most of the videos that were telling you things were already taken down from them. Now it's back on for some reason. They let me put it back on, just randomly came back on. TikTok took down my other channel. But some of you will say, why would they do that when it can harm people they know? The people that are on top couldn't care less about anybody else that the pilots know or anybody else knows. There's those that are in the know, and there's those that are, it's like a pyramid. There's those on top, which are the Satanists, and on top of them is who they worship, which is Satan. I'm not even just saying that. This is literally what they do. And then the ones below each level know less and less and less till they know nothing. They're just being obedient. Like sometimes many of the doctors at the time of COVID, what was happening? They were like parrots. Whatever they were told, they were emailed information. You're going to do this. If this symptom comes, this is what it means. You're going to do this. This is what you're going to do as a procedure. If someone is tested positive, blah, 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 blah. So they were like parrots repeating and doing the things they were told. And that's what keeps happening. And then there was those doctors that questioned some things, looked into it and went and started speaking out. And they were shut down, called conspiracy theorists and put down and mocked on the news and things like that. Scientists were speaking out, virologists were speaking out, saying this is dangerous, these vaccines, don't take them, and they're going to harm you. And they were called fools and mocked and all that stuff. And now the same anchors that still have these jobs, that are on these news platforms, they say, well, that was the science we had at that time. They're lying. They're literally not even apologizing now that all of the stuff they were saying were lies, and the ones that they were mocking, calling conspiracy theorists, were saying the truth. They won't acknowledge saying, I'm sorry, I chose a side, I heard both sides, I chose a side, and I mocked the ones that were saying the truth. They won't say that. They're saying the science we had at that moment, at the time, this is what we knew, so I was trying to be faithful to what I knew. No, you chose. Some of them are just also lying right now. They're actually intentionally knew everything. They're in on it. They're planted to influence the minds of people. And there's other ones that literally just went along with thinking the science, but they were rejecting the other science, just one part of whatever these paid scientists were saying. so-called scientists is what I would call them. Just like those so-called doctors, even though they had the permit, the license to deal with medicine, they were just paid off actors for the guys on top. Anyway, just wanted to tell you, not to scare you again, but I would like to know if something was coming at me, So it's to create awareness. If this is happening, you just research it yourself and you start hearing more and more, okay, now it's spreading the virus, another virus is spreading. Then buy some food that expires in a year or two. You can get canned food like that, and just stack up some stuff. It doesn't have to be a lot. Just stack up some stuff, and then you can eat it anyway after. You're not losing anything. You just don't have to buy food, in the long run. You can just eat that food. So it's good to prepare than be shocked and go run out when, if things do start happening. They're telling you it's locked down again, this and that, because they tested us in everything, so they know how far they can push, and what they'll need to do if we try to push back. They're ready for all of it. So I want you to know, so you're not running around shocked when this happens, and if it happens now, and this is the timing that's going to start happening in 2026, that you just start being silly and running around trying to get toilet paper. Go get what you really need, essentials. And all right, get some toilet paper if you want, but if you're not in fear and in shock, you won't go and do foolish things. You actually think clearly and go get stuff that you need for you and your family to begin with, and maybe your loved ones. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry that I'm saying this stuff, but we knew from the past that they're going to plan a second one. The people that were inside blowing the whistles and stuff, and we're trying to tell you guys about this stuff. And it's looking like, they're saying, oh, there's a case of this now in India, and there's a case of that, and they're starting again with this thing. But this time, like I said, I think it's going to be, because what the word was that they're going to do a real one next. And the reason, like I said, why they don't care if it's spraying on people they might even know, those who are in the know already have protection mechanisms. So they have an antidote to what they will be spraying, so they're protected. You get me? So they're not just doing it and then going, oh, I'm going to go get sick as well because it's been sprayed in the air. No, they're going to have the antidote already inside of them, taking care of themselves and their families, whoever they want to take care of, to get through this while they're stealing, killing, and destroying the masses, because they want to control population. And because we're too many, all we have to do is turn on them and it finishes. But because we're too many, they know there's a number that's more controllable for them. And yeah, they will aim to do that, to reduce the population so it's more controllable. And you saw what your governments turned and did to everybody. The companies you work for, because they were pressured by the governments that they were going to be, lose their permits to function as a company and all that kind of stuff. So they were pressured, and then they had to pressure the people to have to take the vaccine, or you're not coming to work. In some countries, you couldn't go out of your house unless you send a text message to see if you're allowed, and you're only allowed to go once or twice, and you had to be very serious to go out. Things like this. So anyway, the point is they got everything ready. But they know that people are going to respond different this time because of what happened last time. So they're also ready for that. So just be praying a lot. This is a very spiritual thing that's going on. But just prepare, guys. I hope this is not going to happen now. But their plans are to do it now. This is what I believe. Because they want to establish everything by 2030. What Klaus Schwab in the WEF said openly, by 2030, you will own nothing and be happy. In other words, they'll own everything, including you, and you better be happy, or there'll be consequences. So, yeah. All right, guys. Be praying, and sorry again to be the guy that has to tell you what I'm sensing, what I'm feeling, my opinion. Again, it's just an opinion. Think for yourself. Go do your research and do whatever you want. It's your life, your will. God gave you a free will, but I hope you will pray and connect with Him and do the right thing.